I've had some crazy cars over the years. So today, with this video, I'm gonna be explaining all the vehicles I have had from start to current, and I wanna see what you guys think and if you guys rock with these vehicles. Welcome back to another video, guys. Slow 50 checking in here. It all started when I first got my license. I got a Chrysler 200 from my mother. She handed it down to me so that she could get something else. It was a 2012 Chrysler 200. It was black. And yeah, I did have a bit of a ricer phase. Keep in mind, I was just a teenager at the time. And I kind of went overboard with that car. Absolutely, I totally did. So what did I do? So there was a few things we did to that car. We did niche 20-inch wheels, black. We swapped out the OEM grills for, it was Mopar aftermarket grills. Well, from Mopar itself, they were black. I added a deck lid spoiler. Honestly, the stance with the car was pretty nice. There was 20s in the rear and there was 19s in the front. Then this is where it all goes downhill. Looking back, it was cringe thinking about it, but I straight piped the car. I did a muffler delete, then I later deleted the resonators, and it was really loud. I mean, I wouldn't say it sounded as bad as like a straight piped VQ, but it was certainly pretty close, and it was really obnoxious. Then I did carbon fiber stripes up it on the side, and with a red accent. Then later on, I did a sign in a red accent, like I'm trying to be an M car, probably was at the time. And yeah, it was quite the car, to say the least. It honestly could have been way more ricier, but at the same time, it was a good first car. It was the V6, it had 270 something, 280 horsepower, and honestly, it wasn't really a slouch, it was decent. And the exhaust was ridiculous. Then I went into a 2016 Ram Rebel 1500, and that was one of my favorite vehicles I ever owned. We kept it for a while, and it was really fun. I later added 35-inch Nitto mud grapplers to the vehicle, and I did a Flowmaster Super 10 exhaust, and it was a great truck. Honestly, if I still had it today, I'd still be super happy with it. It was a beast, it looked good. It was when Ram introduced the Rebel, and it wasn't a direct Raptor fighter, but it was, I would say at the time, the closest thing on the market that was off-road-like to that vehicle. So after that, I went into a huge mistake. I went into a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. There's a number of reasons why I honestly didn't like that vehicle. Not to mention how bad the gas was. I'm talking worse than the 5.7 Hemi. But the V6 Pentastar engine, 3.6 liter, I believe 285 horsepower, 260 torque, something around there. It is gutless. And I'm talking when you're merging on the highway, there is no beans to be had when you floor that throttle. So right off the bat, going from a 5.7 Hemi to something like that was a pretty bad mistake. The interior was nice. The car was certainly cool. I didn't really do too much with that car. I added some mud graphics on it, right? Not really any mods. And that was pretty much it on that. I didn't keep that vehicle for too long. Once I was able to get out of it, I totally did. I would never do a Jeep again. Then after that, we got into one of the nicest vehicles I still think is out there right now. It was a 2019 Ram Limited 1500. What a beautiful truck that was. It had power running boards, it had heated and cooled seats, it had wood all throughout the interior, but like this dark charcoal wood, tungsten metals throughout the cabin. It was a beautiful truck, and the sound system was absolutely fantastic. What I did with that vehicle was later on, I added some mudding tires, 33s, and fuel rims, gloss black, looked really clean, especially with the silver and chrome accents throughout the truck. Then I gotta make it loud. So I straight piped it, and it actually sounded unbelievable. It crackled at high RPM. It had a really good tone to it. And I added rock lights to it in the wheel arches, and it was a fantastic truck. It was really nice, and it did really well for me. Then after that, I took a bit of a break. I was spending way too much money on cars, and I decided to chill for a bit. And I was on Marketplace during COVID, and I was really bored, so I wanted a little project car. So I bought a 2011 Genesis Coupe, and that was a really fun car. I know a lot of people hate on Hyundai, and obviously they've been very unreliable in the past and making not the greatest cars. But I honestly think that Genesis helped solidify in enthusiast minds that it was a brand to be taken seriously. I bought the car. It was blue. It was lovely. It was an automatic, unfortunately, but at the time I didn't drive stick. And later on, what I added to that car, I added exhaust, I added a blow-off valve. There was already an intake on the car. It was tuned. And I would say that was a car that really got me into engine modifying, I'd say, because I got a taste for it. I'd say it's a sports car, absolutely. And I got a taste for speed, and I really liked it. And I kept that car for a while. I did a custom wrap on it with like accented pieces. Honestly, to each their own. Looking back, it was a bit ricey, but it was still pretty nice nonetheless. Had that car for a while, and then I eventually sold it, which was great, pretty much for the same that I got it for. And from there, I went into a 2022 Veloster N. I had zero idea how to drive manual at the time. I just bought the car. I originally test drove a red one, and I was gonna buy that one, but at the same time I really wanted performance blue, and I loved the idea of a hot hatch for some reason, and I see why people love them. They are functional, they are very good dailies, and they're quick. And the Veloster N completely changed how I view cars, and it made me into the enthusiast I am today. That was a fantastic vehicle. The manual was super easy to learn. I just bought it and I figured out manual on the way, and it was quick, agile, sounded really good. There was good enough tech in it, and it handled really, really well. And what I did with that car is I became friends with N75 over there. Dan is a great tuner, and what I did there with that build is I started off with an intake, a short shifter, and that was pretty much it for the first part of me owning that car. It was pretty good out the box, honestly. Then I decided to go full crazy. I added forged charge pipes, forged blow-off valve, a turbo inlet intake piece, and I added an intercooler, then downpipes, and I got it tuned by N75, and that really woke up the car. Oh, and I also forgot, I added a JB4 when I had the intake installed, and what was really cool with the tune was we were able to use the JB4 as a boost controller for my custom tune, so I had 3 different maps. I believe they were 17 PSI, 21, and 24 respectively, and the car was legitimately quick. If I had to guess anywhere, it was probably just sitting at around 300 wheel horsepower. That's where the stock Veloster N turbo pretty much caps out. And I love that car. That car was sick. It was I'd call it a bit of a sleeper because people are seeing the badge and they're not gonna think anything really of it. And that was really fun to drive. And it handled so well for a front wheel drive car. The ELSD in that car really did a good job at putting the power down, especially in power down situations in the corners. But I've always loved muscle cars. Always. And I've always wanted a muscle car. So that led me to the next thing. After a couple of years, I bought my first 2022 Mustang GT. And that was a fantastic car. If you guys are new to the channel, it was an S550, of course, and it was the facelifted version. It was all blacked out. I did a custom livery on it. There's other videos where I broke down the build and what we did to that car. It was probably sitting between 490, 500 wheel when it was on E85. And that was a fantastic car, and that solidified in my mind why pretty much I'll probably only buy Mustangs from here on out. I've always loved the Mustang name. My uncle has always had Mustangs year after year after year, and that kind of got me at a young age into Mustangs. And now that we're here, we have the 2024 S650 yellow Mustang that you guys all know me for. I also currently have a 2025 Ford Bronco. It's a base model with the Sasquatch package that I've also done videos. And we have my wife's Bronco, which is a 2024 Big Bend with a 4-inch lift, 35s, rock lights, you name it, the whole works. It was a sweet, sweet deal, so we got it at the time. So that's the car journey. Thank you guys for watching thus far. I've been blessed to be able to have owned multiple different cars throughout my life, and it's something I do not take for granted. It's something that I'm very grateful for, and it is super fun to be able to share my experiences with cars with you guys. So if you like this video, comment, subscribe. There's tons of content on the way. It's February, we had a snowstorm here in Canada, but the day before it was kind of funny. It was like 12 degrees. We have super volatile weather here, but I'm hoping to bring the Mustang out in March. We already got some sweet mods lined up. We're gonna be adding headers this year. We're going to be adding a front splitter, wicker bill, and a Alcantara steering wheel, and more power adder stuff to be discussed later on. So like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll catch you in the next one.